This week on By the Numbers, join us as we talk about inflation outrage and how it's taking social media and retailers by storm. But for now, sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and join us as we take you through the numbers. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lyndsay.
How are you?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm good, thanks. Kind of surviving this heat wave here in New Hampshire.
Yes, this is not why I live in New Hampshire.
No. But I feel like last summer we just complained so much about like how wet and how rainy and cool it was. There wasn't enough beach time or pool time. So we're kind of getting the opposite this year.
We are making up for lost time last summer.
So I'm not complaining because I fear that it will snow next year if we complain about the heat this year.
Well, you know I like the snow, so I won't complain.
Yes. Well, jumping right into our headlines today, some other folks that are taking the heat are some big name retailers and restaurants.
Yes, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes right now.
Yeah, for sure. So to lead us into that, there was a quote that was shared within the article that I thought, again, it was like kind of that psychology side of all of this. People experience the price of consumer products constantly.
Yes.
We're purchasing something daily, right? So people experience the price of consumer products constantly. And that does tend to be a focus of what they remember buying last.
Absolutely.
So that leads us into this video from TikTok.
Yes.
And with regards, this is circling back to Walmart, not the digital price tags, but still Walmart.
Still Walmart. Yes, we're really ganging up on them today.
Yes.
And I just have to give a shout out to Jenna Allen, my colleague, who found this video and, prepared a lot of the research around it. I am a geriatric millennial, so I do not go to TikTok to get my economic content right. But we figured out how to play at TikTok. And I think it really does tap into that anger to see the price comparison. So we'll play the video. And thank you, Jenna, for bringing this up because this went viral. This really caught on to consumer attention and I guess TikTok viewer attention. But without further ado, let me play the video.
Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I just looked through my Walmart history and I found this Walmart order from 2 years ago for the whole month worth of groceries. 45 items cost $126. A whole month of groceries just for me, basically. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now. Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414. That is 4 times more.
So
4 times more.
Roughly, we'll get into his math, but yes, say 4 times more than this order was. So the reason I pulled the May 2019 against May 2024 data is by our best guess, and he didn't show the whole order. It seemed like that was the time comparison.
Okay.
If not even a little bit more narrow. So there is a discrepancy here. Is the consumer price index for food at home up 26.4%, or is it 4 times higher?
Yeah.
And this is, again, what's being spread out there on social media. And everyone's, oh, Walmart, what are you doing to charge 4 times as much for these groceries?
Yes, but I think it's a good point because if you want to bring it back to that quote that I just shared, it tends to be the focus on what you bought last.
Exactly.
I purchase all of my groceries through an app, and I do them pick up order because I just don't have time to go into a grocery store, and it's becomes just part of my convenience. The second I open that app, it brings up everything I purchased the last time.
Right.
And this option to re-add them to my cart, just like the Walmart app did. So I'm sure that I could probably pull something from years ago and do a comparison as well.
I should have asked you. So I tried to do the same thing, but I don't order through Walmart. I do the pickup order through my local grocery store, and they only saved 90 days. So I couldn't go back multiple years. However, we crowdsourced a little bit, and Michael Fuse, my colleague, does use Walmart and did back, he didn't go quite back to 2019, but he had 2 orders from late 2020 and early 2021. So not quite so long, but again, still getting that same time period. And he did the same thing.
Well, I think people probably weren't ordering groceries through an app pre-2020.
That's
That
the
was
problem,
definitely
right. So we can't really get.
But still, and Mike has a large family to feed as well.
He
So
does.
this one should be fun to look through.
This was, first of all, a great look into the life of my colleague. I didn't know he had cats until I saw cat food on his list. But I'm going to pull up the chart. And so we put this in Excel just to kind of.
You guys.
You know us. We are nerds. But.
This is hysterical.
Is this great? So the first, and we had to split the screen because he had a long list, like you said, big family, a couple of cats, a bunch of kids.
I want to know how many kids Mike had at the time that this first order was done versus if he was feeding the family
today. He does
today.
have a couple additional kids, so I'm sure his bill grew just for that. We want to strip that out of our analysis.
Strip that out of the analysis. But this is, just for, clarification, hitting that reorder button. So it is everything that was purchased.
It was whatever he bought.
Okay.
And so his family actually eats, I think, a little bit healthier than mine. I did, Mike, notice the ready-to-bake cookie dough on the list. So
I want to know if that was consumed raw or cooked.
So anyway, we have that first column shows the price in either it was fourth quarter of 2020 or first quarter of 2021. And again, we go on to this other column. And then the 2024 current price when just this week he hit reorder.
Okay.
Overall, his total went from $157 to $238. So that was a 52% increase.
Wow.
It was not 4 times, as the gentleman in the TikTok said. So I'm curious what he was ordering. He didn't show the full breakdown of everything he bought to really get to that 4 times amount. But 52%, again, I'm comparing our CPI food at home, 26%. There is something to explain that gap.
Right.
Right.
And I think that on the TikTok video, at least, I just picked up on when I was looking behind his face.
Yeah.
There were some really big brand names there too.
Yes.
And I feel like when you're buying a brand name, you can kind of afford to, I don't want to use a price gouge, but you can, when you have that established brand, that recognizable logo that's just easier to grab for.
Exactly.
Then I think it makes a lot of sense that may potentially be 4 times more expensive now.
It could be.
Yeah.
And in not all cases. So you'll notice some brand names, some are just generic on here.
Yep.
The one that jumped out at me as I was discussing this with Mike is over these 2 visits, you'll notice he bought both Colgate Max Fresh toothpaste and Crest toothpaste. Now, the Crest toothpaste is only 34% higher in price today. The Colgate is 143%. So if you bought Colgate specifically back in that previous order, maybe it was on sale. Like that $247 price, that seems pretty low even for 2020 levels. So I'm suspicious that if a brand was on sale, and maybe that's the reason he bought Colgate one time and Crest the next time. You bought what was on sale.
Yep.
But if I'm just clicking reorder, I'm ordering the same brand, the same, quantity or size container, just the same exact item. So, I'm not looking at the shelf and buying the one that's on sale today. So there will be some additional upside pressure from that trend.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then there's this, and we'll get into this a little bit further into this article. Or actually, we can probably take it there now. Talking about this, I noticed the Bounty paper towels.
Yes,
they were specifically talking about how Walmart has been accused of basically selling their brand of paper towels for the same price they always have, but if you pay close attention, you're getting less sheets in the paper towel.
Yes, and so that's another problem we see here is it's called shrinkflation.
Yes.
So the same price, but a smaller amount. What that does, you'll notice on this list, it really is a few big, 100+% price changes that drag the total up. So I was looking specifically at those outliers. Bounty paper towels, maybe you still can get them for a reasonable price, right, for a smaller amount.
Yep.
And if this, I don't know how many paper towels were in this, but $11.90 for paper towels that used to be $4.64. Maybe this is like a weird size. And I was specifically wondering this about the tortilla chips. He didn't tell me what tortilla chips he bought, but I don't know any tortilla chips that should cost $11 per bag.
Right. Like, did you buy it in bulk?
He didn't. It should be the same item, right? So to go from $3 to $11, my suspicion is either with a specific brand or a size that might have been discontinued. You see this on Amazon or on Walmart. If this thing has been discontinued, sometimes you get like one kind of third-party seller really paying a higher price for this.
Right.
And so no one would buy those tortilla chips, right? You'd buy different ones.
Yeah.
But it will be reflected in this reorder all methodology as a huge, huge jump. In this case, over 200% jump in price.
There's just so many factors at play here. You know, brands will do that promotion where they're selling you, let's stick with the tortilla chips.
Sure.
And you're buying it at, I don't know, like a 2-pound bag or something, but you're getting an extra half a pound of chips for free.
Right.
And then if you hit the reorder button, is it that 2.5-pound bag that is now inflated in the price because it's no longer a promotion.
Right.
So whether it's a promotion by the store or a promotion by the brand, or sometimes there's like a tearaway coupon, there's so many things that could really impact the amount that you paid for it a few years ago versus what you paid for it now.
I know I'm such a nerd getting into just methodology concerns with this TikTok video. But I thought those accounted for some of the gap.
That's all the time we have for today here on our free segment on YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you'd like full-length episodes, click the link in the description below. But until next time, bye, Lauren.
Bye, Lyndsay.